The bad news for him is that voters think Trump, not Biden, would do a better job at handling threats to democracy.
That's interesting. Let's bring in Trump Media Board of Directors member, former Deputy Director of National Intelligence and Trump surrogate Kash Patel, along with Michigan gubernatorial candidate and host of the Tudor Dixon podcast, Tudor Dixon herself, along with Outkick founder and star Clay Travis. All of you, welcome to Bottom Line, our 2-hour razzle-dazzle edition of the show. Clay, I'm going to come to you first. In tonight's debate, what are you watching? What are you looking for? How do we determine a winner?
I think it's pass-fail for Joe Biden. This timing doesn't make any sense at all of June 27th. I think this is Biden needing to demonstrate to the Democratic base that he can actually get out there and be their candidate with a chance to win. We saw it with the State of the Union. Next week is July 4th. I don't buy that they're trying to reassess or restart the campaign. We know a lot of people won't be paying attention at a national level in a really big way until everybody goes back to school and we get after the Labor Day holiday. To me, this is Biden speaking to his base, speaking to the Democrat donors before we go to the RNC, before we go to the DNC. He has to prove that he's physically and mentally capable enough to be the nominee. I think that's the primary story here, because otherwise, by July 4th, and when we got more Supreme Court rulings coming down on Monday, we're going to be talking about different stories by the time we get to next week. The real story here to me, and the timing of this story, is Joe Biden trying to prove that he is, in fact, capable of being the Democrat nominee.
Kash, and we were talking about at the very top of the show the issue of future of democracy and who does a better job handling threats to democracy. And this is really a Joe Biden left-wing Democrat talking point, a way that Trump was a threat to democracy, a way to label him. And it's backfired in their faces in unimaginable ways, in part because of just every policy that has come out of this administration. They have never changed course, and it's been disruptive here, at the dinner table, at the grocery store, and around the globe.
Look, you're absolutely right. And what I think you're going to see is a prospective look of Trump's brilliance. I think he's going to go back and say, look at my policy on the border. Look at my policy on ending the forever wars. Look at my policy in wiping out terrorists and bringing home American hostages. Look at my policy in shutting down the narco traffickers and building the wall, and make sure crime in our communities are safe and our children are taught what we as parents want them taught in our public schools. I think this is an opportunity for President Trump to reach a record-breaking audience, because tonight's debate is probably going to be the most watched political event in modern U.S. history. And for the first time, he's going to be telling a lot of listeners who haven't tuned in like we all do on a daily basis what his policies are and how they succeeded and how he can reinstall those policies going forward. Remember, the chance that President Trump has is, don't bet on me just because I'm telling you I'm going to do X. You can see the results of my policies that I've laid out and the disaster that Joe Biden has caused by taking the opposite approach of every single policy. And it doesn't just permeate the communities and the kitchen table, but it permeates our entire way of life. And I think President Trump is going to put on a masterclass on that performance.
You know, Tudor, I want to take a point that Clay made, which is, you know, no one's going to pay attention to this debate. We're going to the 4th of July weekend, and they're going on to their summers, and kids are off from school. You know, things get crazy. But I have to think that if Joe Biden can't bring an A game, if he trails off or he stumbles, the American people are going to start making up their minds this early. I don't think they're going to give Joe Biden a second chance. What are you picking up in Michigan of what voters are looking for?
Well, to be honest, I think that they don't want to give him a second chance. His campaign wants this to be it. They want him to do so well that they don't have to go to another debate, because if you look back in 2019 to today, there's a stark difference in his cognitive abilities. I think that they decline every day. They wanted to get this done early so they can say, look, he debated, he was great, we're done debating. In Michigan, we're looking for, how are we going to improve the economy? How are we going to make things safer? We lost a police officer last week. Just on my way here, I hear there's another shooting and another police officer has been shot in the state of Michigan. This is all, when you break this down, it's all because of these soft on crime policies that the Democrats have. It always goes back to soft on crime policies. And if tonight Donald Trump can show, hey, look, this is the guy that has to defend a record now, and his record is abysmal. That's going to be all he needs to do for the people of Michigan to say, you know what, it's not just him, it's the Democrats here. This is a common pattern. We'd like to see hope.
Moving on to this, Team Biden wants instant fact checkers at tonight's presidential showdown, but that might not be such a great idea because he's told a few tall tales himself.
No president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office. 9%. I, like an awful lot of people in this audience, was the first in my family to go to college and watch my dad struggle to help me get there and get all the kids there, and it wasn't easy. I remember standing there the next day and looking at the building. I felt like I was looking through the gates of hell. It looked so devastating. And my uncle, they called him Ambrose, they called him Bosie. My Uncle Bosie, he got shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
Clay, what the Biden team wants is CNN to, take up for Joe Biden. Because in that interview when he lied about 9% inflation, that was with Erin Burnett, and she never corrected him. And she knows better. That's what they want.
Yet, I think it's also, Dagan, important here. They want to eat up a lot of the clock. It's 90 minutes. There are 2 commercial breaks. You're going to get asked questions. Joe Biden's been preparing for a solid week. We haven't seen him. We don't know what they're going to give him, Adderall. We don't know what his Botox situation's going to be. It's really strange that we haven't seen him for a week. And he's only going to have to talk for 31 or 32 total minutes when you really break down the questions, the commercial breaks, Trump. I think they want Trump to start to argue with the moderators and take away the attention from anything Biden says and turn it into a Trump sideshow where instead of making the arguments about are you better off today or were you better off before COVID, February 2020 was the strongest economy, lowest mortgage rates, lowest inflation, highest wage earning growth that we've ever seen, white, black, Asian, and Hispanic. Those are winning points for Trump. But if he's arguing with Jake Tapper or Dana Bash about whether or not the fact patterns that he's responding to are accurate or not, that I think plays into the worst version of Trump. And I think that's why the Biden team wants these moderators to be a substantial portion of this debate.
And Kash, to that point, do you think that the CNN moderators will be part of the debate? Or do you think they're going to play it straight? Are they going to actually do a real debate on the issues that the American people want to hear about, the economy, inflation, the border, to Tudor's point, crime, foreign policy? Or are they going to try to instigate and entice Trump into fighting with them, not Joe Biden?
Well, it's really important that you bring up the moderators. And, you don't necessarily have to rely on what I believe. You have to look at their track record. And these are people that have literally gone out there and made a career on TV putting out disinformation against President Trump and putting out lies for President Biden. And they have constantly attacked President Trump by literally calling him a Nazi multiple times on their network. And, of course, they're going to try and engage President Trump in some of those personal attacks and insults because that's the response they want to elicit from him. But I think what you're going to see President Trump do is say, we don't need any fact checkers. I'm going to tell you how bad the Joe Biden economy is. I'm going to tell you how bad it is to have 12 million illegal immigrants here. I'm going to tell you the horror when I called the mothers of the slain victims of crimes from illegal immigrants, whether they were children or adult women who were strangled and raped. That is a reality that no disinformation campaign can masquerade over. And it is a reality that no cheap fake or whatever they're calling out of the White House press secretary's office nowadays can cover up for the Biden administration. And what you played in that little clip there of Joe Biden could probably be played for like 3 straight hours without repeating one single failure of Joe Biden.
And Tudor, it is a reality that every single American, regardless of who they voted for almost 4 years ago, has been forced to live. And it is a reality that the Biden administration has lied about and acted as if it didn't exist for the last 3.5 years. Final word.
Absolutely. This is going to be a night for Donald Trump to be the fact checker. He's going to be able to hold him accountable. He's the sharp one on the stage, and we are going to see CNN try to go after Donald Trump. If they do it too much, CNN has already been plummeting in the ratings. They could kill their network altogether, so they've got a very fine balance, and Donald Trump could just come out tonight looking like he is shining like a star.
Thank you all so much, Tudor Dixon, Kash Patel, and Clay Travis.